Ooh, Japan continuing to move into Myanmar. They are getting smaller and smaller, and the Russians and Japan are definitely taking advantage of it. And let's let chaos ensue in three, two, one. Let's go. First off, we have Russia. Okay, Russia's expanding into Kazakhstan, and that'll be the start of our game. So, just as a reminder to everyone, all 215 nations are in this game. So, we will play until there's only one remaining. So, throw down your bets right now of who's going to win, and we'll see if that happens. But I don't know who I would bet just because this game is very unique in the fact that anyone could win it. You do start with, I mean, we've got a couple of big standouts to begin the game. Russia, obviously controlling the most territory, then the US, China coming in third, but they might not necessarily even be in the top 10 by the end of the game. Okay, this is kind of big. United States being broken up, well, not broken up, but annexed by Mexico. So that is big news as well. I just saw it come up in the feed. South Korea has united the Korean Peninsula, but only for a moment because apparently China wanted that territory for themselves and they went for it. China now being annexed by Vietnam. So that should, I mean, does that put them in first? Okay, second place. Mexico, when they took out the US, that put them in first. So yeah, we've already got a lot of changes to your top 10 original nations of the game. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, Mexico just got divided by their neighbors. So, big win for a lot of Native American nations. And once again, changing hand this territory, Vietnam being annexed entirely by Myanmar. So they are definitely now in the top five. Oh, and you just saw the collapse of Canada. So, okay, that's a lot going on. So, Canada broke up into a lot of their native territories, like Yukon, Ontario, Quebec, and the Caribbean Union also coming up into a lot of the East Coast. So, not quite the New England states, but definitely Midwest region. Oh, I was excited for the Navajo, but I'm still excited for the Caribbean Union. They are definitely taking over what was the US by taking out some Native American nations. Oh my goodness. Okay. Lots of stuff just happened. We had, first off, I wanted to show you out of South America. I don't even know what nations these are anymore. You had Brazil, Argentina, and Paraguay forming the BAP nation that just formed. But we are now in World War III. So we've got the Alliance of Guinea, which the Caribbean Union is a part of, and a couple of African nations. It looks like maybe France. Is that France or the UK? Oh, France. Okay. So that's the Alliance of Guinea, and then the League of Southern Africa being all of these gray nations. So you've got BAP and a lot of Africa. Russia also being a part of the League of Southern Africa. It's also got to be worth mentioning Indonesia at one point took out all of Australia, and they are part of the Alliance of Guinea. So they are, I guess, maybe the Alliance of Guinea is kind of like island nations. You've got Indonesia, the Caribbean, and Algeria, which is not an island nation, but we will definitely throw them in with that other group. And I'm really liking the name of this. The Raj Union being what was India. So they're forming together. Now, as this war has continued to drag on, League of Southern Africa has been a huge winner thus far. I think they started out at about 1,200 provinces. Now they're up to 1,630, and Alliance of Guinea just continues to shrink. But I'm trying to figure out where exactly they're getting territory because I'm not sure. The Caribbean Union kind of looked the same. It might have been from Indonesia that they took a lot of that territory from that war. Wow, and a bold move from the Japanese. They took all of the coastland of Myanmar. Well, not all of it, but they actually did take quite a bit. So kind of expanding into mainland Asia. And what was once only the BAP is now the EBAP. So we've got, as part of the EBAP now, Ecuador having joined them. I really hope that this acronym just continues to grow, and by the end of the game, we've got something outrageous. Ooh, Japan continuing to move into Myanmar. They are getting smaller and smaller, and the Russians and Japan are definitely taking advantage of it. Oh no, okay, Japan just got annexed by Russia. So Russia's looking really good going into roughly the last half of the game. Over half of the nations of the world have already been destroyed and have to go. Oh no, 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 did it really get EBAP got divided by neighbors? Oh, that makes me so sad. Oh, and the Caribbean Union got annexed by the Philippines. I was literally just about to say that I wanted one of those two to win because I was so excited for EBAP and the Caribbean Union. But that is really good news for the Philippines. How did the Philippines get over here? It's what I want to know. And which nation was this? It was Uruguay. Okay, Uruguay and Philippines taking over a lot of the Americas. I also just somehow noticed that Cuba, of all places, is in northern Canada. So I'm not quite sure how they did that, but I guess it wasn't working for them out in the Caribbean, so might as well move into northern Canada. I guess that makes sense. Cuba continuing their expansion into Canada as they moved into the Northwest Territories. Oh, and a big move here. Okay, the Philippines are gone. And of all places, Philadelphia. So Philadelphia had revolted from, it might have been the Caribbean Union, because you had New York City and a couple other places. Washington, D.C. is still there, just super tiny. But Philadelphia, having annexed that territory, they are going to be, are they in the top four? Yeah, they're in the, okay, they're number two. So they're just behind Myanmar. Ooh, and just like Philippines collapsing, Russia collapsed as well. Oh my gosh, what does that do for this game? I think that probably, did that put us back up to 100? Oh my gosh, okay, we have back over 100 nations left. So now, out of Eastern Europe, this nation formed with the Baltic Union and I don't even know what it is. It's the Latvia, Mindanao, Republic of Poland, Lithuania, West Poland. Like, EBAP was just so much easier to say than Limerlo. Like, that doesn't really roll off the tongue. Kudos to Philadelphia. Now, Philly, that definitely was strange. I was not expecting them to be in this game, but they have unified practically all of North America and even all of Northern South America. All you've got left in South America is Uruguay that they have to really compete against. As well, kudos to this Uralic Union and even Vietnam for that matter. They have kind of cleaned things up on the Asian front because you had that huge collapse out of Russia that created like 20 new nations, but they have been the ones to ultimately dominate and come back. Oh, I am so glad that that nation fell. I could not keep calling it the Limworld or whatever I was. But that's pretty awesome for Belgium. Belgium just got a lot of territory out of that and they now have leaped up to third place in this game. All right, and we are back to war. So we have the Legion of Kuwait, which is all of Philly and Indonesia. Okay, Indonesia. Oh, and the Uralic Union forming the Legion of Kuwait. So I would definitely want to be on their side. Probably not so much the Dakar Pact. Dakar Pact only has Vietnam, Sierra Leone, and what is this little nation down here? Um, I guess Cape. Is that what it is? Cape and Windhoek. Kind of as I predicted, Philadelphia, they have unified the Americas. I mean, there's this tiny bit of territory. I can't even tell who it belongs to, but they have officially unified the Americas and they have even started storming into Africa and Western Europe. However, we did see the Uralic Union, they were dissolved, well, divided by their neighbors. So they are not going to stand the test of time. Now, this is definitely worth mentioning. A lot has gone on. Indonesia died, and so did basically the Legion of Kuwait. You can see right here, looking at the stats, that Philadelphia makes up 624 tiles, and the whole Legion of Kuwait is 691. So 1691, which that keeps fluctuating, but they basically make up all of the one side of the war. And I am liking Madagascar. This whole game has done absolutely nothing. I've never even highlighted them, but they've moved west. So controlling a lot of southern Africa. Oh my goodness, kid. Dakar Pact apparently gave an ultimatum to Madagascar, and because they refused to join, they got invaded. So I guess sometimes you do have to listen. Huge blow to Philadelphia. They are losing a lot of their borders. Oh my gosh. Okay. This might be the end of Philadelphia. First, Karelia took a bunch, and then West Darfur. Okay. This is the end of Philadelphia. They got divided by neighbors. So does that even leave? That leaves. Who is this? Karas? I don't even know what a Karas is. But they're doing decent. I mean, they're doing okay, I guess. They're taking on the entire world with the Darku Pact. And with only 8 nations left, looking at them, a lot of these nations were not originals. A couple still being originals. Botswana, Solomon Islands. All right, 5 nations left in the game. We've got Karelia now down to 4. Ashgabat, Botswana, and Gitasia. Okay, we've got Botswana and Gitasia. But Botswana got annexed by Gitasia. So that's going to be the game. So, what is Gitasia? What is Gitasia? Well, according to Google, apparently Gitasia is the capital of Burundi. So, that means Africa won the game. We had an African nation just south of Rwanda, I believe. Is that where Burundi? Okay. Yeah, Burundi's right south of Rwanda. Okay. Yeah, so African nation winning out this game. So kudos to them and congratulations. And we'll see you next time for more.